Hello everyone, welcome to a Mudbox 2017 tutorial series. What we're going to do today is we're going to model a bus, so we're going to start with our basic head here. Okay, let's drop that right into our scene. Now the bus I want to do here actually was inspired from a video I saw online. It's a speed sculpt, so he doesn't really go into the nitty-gritty on how to do everything and describe everything. It's just 3 hours sculpting brought down about 13 minutes. So I'm going to go through his bust and break it down so that you guys can follow along. So I'm going to show you a picture of what I'm kind of targeting. It may not end up being this exact, looking exactly like this when we're done, but this is kind of the aim I'm going for. So it's going to be a man with a bit more of a muscular build, thicker neck, kind of a blocky jaw, lots of wrinkles. That should be a really good challenge for us. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down, stick this back on the other side. Okay. Let's just go ahead and dive right on in. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we need to adjust the form on this guy. Now, to begin with, we could be using sculpt layers, which usually is a best practice, but until we have some details in there, I'm just going to go ahead and sculpt on the basic mesh, and then when I start adding in details, I'll add in sculpt layers. So let's go ahead and bring up the resolution. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and add some subdivisions. So we're going to go to add new subdivision level, and now we're at 8,000 polygons. Let's go up to level 3. Okay, we're at 128,000. That should be good. We won't go up to 4 until we actually have sculpted details we're going to start throwing in. So I'm going to use my grab tool, make sure that strength is at 100. I'm going to use B to brush size up, make sure my mirroring is on. And what I'm going to do first is adjust the shoulders here. I'm going to go ahead and bring those out a little bit. Adjust the back. He's a muscular guy, so he's going to have back muscles. With the grab brush, it really works best too if you have a wider brush, since it's kind of doing a fall off in the center. You could adjust the fall offs over here, obviously, but by default, this is kind of the best practice. Go ahead and do that. We're going to give him a little more thicker of a neck. Okay. Same thing with the chest. Chest is going to be a little more brought out. Okay. Okay, that's good. All right with that. Let's go ahead and adjust his jawline now. So his jaw is going to be brought out like so. His eyes a little closer. I'm starting to get to the shape I want. Okay, need a little more bulk in the back here by the base of his neck. Let's go ahead and bring that out a little bit more as well. Okay. I don't know if any of you have watched speed sculpts before, but it goes so fast that it seems like they're just whirling out magic. But they're like 2 to 4 hour sculpts, They know exactly what they're doing to some extent, and they boil it down to 13 minutes. It makes you feel like, how do they even know what they're doing? And the reason why is because they're spending hours looking at this, and you're only spending a few minutes seeing their process. So I'm slowing it down like this makes it to where you guys can see all the magic. All right. That's good for now. I think maybe a little more on his jaw. Okay. Nope, it's a little too narrow. There we go. A little happier at that. Okay. So we're about 6 minutes in. I'm going to try to keep these videos around 10 minutes long. Okay. So next thing, oh, actually, you know what? His forehead, I'm not happy with that yet either. So let's go ahead and adjust his forehead a little bit. Oops, a little too narrow. Okay, maybe bring his features down just a little bit. Okay, that's better. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our wax brush. So we're going to use, let's see here, wax. Click it twice, otherwise it sticks on the grab button. That's not what I want. Now you can use a stamp or you can not use a stamp. I like to use a stamp usually just because it kind of, when I'm using the stamp on here, I'm not looking to add texture because it's going to be something I want to keep, but it gives the illusion that there's actually clay being thrown on here, which is what these digital sculpting and texturing programs are meant to do, is to kind of give you the feel of artistic creation through clay. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it. Let's see what strength 14 looks like to begin with. Mirroring X is on. I have this cloudy stamp on. You'll find that one right in here. It's this guy right there. If it doesn't work for me, I can always just kick it off. But let's go ahead and just kind of dive in here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of clay in here. Okay, it's a little bit strong. So maybe let's go ahead and bring it down to, let's say, 8. What I'm kind of doing to begin with here is I'm just going to outline his eyes here, and then down into his mouth, and I'm going to outline his jawline as well and add some wax in there, and then I'm going to polish it up a little bit. So I'm using a mouse here, so the fall off on this and the amount of pressure that's going into it is complete. So I don't get to have as much play since I'm doing this video. Normally I have a Cintiq, but it's an older one, so it doesn't like to it dumps my resolution when I'm using it, so it doesn't work so well when I'm shooting video. But for those of you who have Cintiqs, like, you guys will have adjusted pen pressure, so you guys can feather in some of this clay, and you have a much more artistic feel to it. So mine is just complete on and off. So if you're feeling like yours is not like mine, don't try to adjust yours to match my intensity, because mine is not optimal at the moment, but I can still get it done with a mouse just the same. So I have this wax I've added on here currently, so I'm going to go ahead and smooth this out a little bit. Go to the edges here and just smooth a little bit of that out, smooth out a little bit over here, smooth this a little bit. Just holding down shift is what I'm doing. So with wax on, if you hold down shift, it turns over to your smooth function. So smooth right now is currently already set to 100, has no stamp on there. I'm going to go back to my wax because I just wanted to show you guys that that's what's going on here. And I'm just smoothing this out just a little bit in here. Okay. Smoothing a little bit on the inside of the eye socket as well. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Liking that. That's okay too. And then let's go ahead and add a little bit of wax in here, just for the chin line. Okay. I think I want to add a little bit more wax here too, just kind of go with a bigger block in. Something like that. Feather that a little bit. Okay, like that. Let's go ahead and feather these edges as well, the chin. Okay, and then just add a little bit more. Oops, a little bit too much right there. And there we go. Just kind of feather that too. And it's just helping kind of set up for the form we're going to be adding in a little bit later on. You can kind of see where I'm going with some of this, I'm sure. I could also run my smooth brush over the top of, like, you see how like everything over here, like the when it subdivided, it kept these quadrants hard. You can just run your smooth brush over the top of that, and it'll smooth those out back down to a softer level. Excuse me, I don't have the hiccups. I'm sure that'll be pleasant as I'm going along. Okay, so that's looking good. By the temples here, if you look at a skull, there's kind of like an inset kind of carve in. So I'm just going to hold down Control, left mouse button, or you can go over to the invert function, and that will make it to where instead of building, it'll carve in. So just to kind of demonstrate the invert on, I can go ahead and carve in a little bit in here. Or, like I said, if you want to just hold down Control, just kind of bring it in like so, that will work as well. Okay, so just hold down Shift, smooth that in. Okay. There we go. Kind of smooth the brow a little bit. Okay, that's good. Now, I said I was trying to keep this around 10 minutes. I've already ran over, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this lesson now. And we'll pick it up in the next lesson and start adding in some more of this form. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next lesson.